Hi there, this is Mike Petrie with Petrie Consulting, and I'm going to teach you how to use the Remote Research Director dashboard, which we call R2D2. First thing you're going to want to do is come in and add a client to the system using the plus person icon here. And you'll see in this contact record there are a lot of fields, but only 5 of the fields have asterisks, and that asterisk indicates that you have to put something in that field or the system will not let you save the client. There is one field here that's going to be really important for you, and that is to add an email address for the client. Now, I recognize that most kids aren't going to have an active email address or even be paying attention to email, and so what you're going to want to do is make sure that you put in their guardian's email address here. The reason for that is that after the child is finished with the program, a survey will be emailed out for him or her to complete at 90 days past discharge. And so if we don't have an email address, R2D2 is going to tell you that there's a survey that it wants to create, but it can't because it doesn't have an email to send it to. So we're going to create a fake client. Date of admit is very important. If there is no date of admit, R2D2 bot, which is the automated component of the system that's rule-based, it doesn't know what to do. It needs this frame of reference in order to complete the survey schedule. Okay. So R2D2 is creating the surveys right now for admission based on the admit date, and it's also detecting that Jane Doe is an adolescent. And so because she's an adolescent, it requires some sort of related contact. This could be a parent, it could be a caseworker, it could be someone who is related to the client and can answer questions about functioning. Now, it's important to recognize that workers will be receiving surveys but not being entered into this field. All workers are added in a different part of R2D2 as quote-unquote users. And so we'll attach users to clients later in the system. But for now, just create a fake parent. Okay, so what's happened here? This is the client's record, so everything on this page is related to Jane Doe. This is where you come to edit fields. When the discharge date is coming up, you're going to want to come in about 2 weeks before they're going to leave the program and enter a discharge date. R2D2 will assign the surveys according to schedule. You can edit any of these fields that underline themselves when you hover. Here we have Jane's mom with the email address, phone number that you can enter if you'd like. And then we have one other thing to do here. So over here on the right, these are the 3 surveys that every student will get at the beginning of the program. There's the Youth Outcome Questionnaire 2.0 self-report, the Minor Assent form, and the Participant Intake form. Now I'll show you how to administer these in a moment, but I wanted you to see that the system had already gone in and looked at the rules and created these 3 surveys for Jane. Now we could see that these 2 surveys are in queue, which means R2D2 is trying to create them, and it takes about a minute for those to be completed. So if I just go up right now and refresh, those are ready for administration. Now you can see that there are 2 surveys right here that are not assigned, and the reason that they're not assigned is because there is a missing active provider or responsible user. So what we need to do is we need to attach a staff member to this client record, and we'll do that using the user option here. You can ignore provider. So we'll click user. Now we've already got some fake users over here, and if we wanted to assign one of these, we'd just click it from the list. and then it would attach the user and assign the staff surveys. But what I want you to see is how to create a new user. Copy this same email address and paste it here. Now, just a word about what's going on here. Outcome Tools is a data collection support software that is running a lot of what R2D2 bot does. And so you don't really need to know anything at all about Outcome Tools, except for filling out this create user form is going to feel a little counterintuitive, because you might ask yourself, well, user for what? Well, they're not, these people that you add as staff here as users are not actually going to have access to any of the system. But in order for us to harness Outcome Tools to attach a staff member to a client record, we have to fill out these fields. So it's going to feel counterintuitive. Don't worry about it. Once you've created the new user, they'll be in the lineup, and you won't probably have to do this super often. You can just leave the level right there and then save new user. So now that you've created that new user, you need to come back, click the user button, find the user from the list, click the name, and now we can see that this staff, John Sorensen, is attached to this client, and we can see that the two surveys that were created are trying to be created, and they'll be emailed to John Sorensen. So that's all you have to do to get clients, related contacts, and staff into the system.